welcome to Versailles. Yes, we're at the palace today, and there are a few things that I'd like to introduce you to. Not just the family, but some new elements to the palace. Um, the new pavilions I've added either side here. And see if you're on the ground, they look as though they're attached, if you see what I mean. And then we have the Cour Royale, which is this way. So, Versailles. Okay. So yeah, this is my new palace that I've created. I have many palaces of Versailles that I created, but this one seems to be the one that's worked out the best. I just hold the camera in this hand and I'll just show you a few things. Sorry about the terrible camera skills. I don't have a proper camera system. I just have my tablet here. So these are the entrance gates to Versailles. Kind of similar, would you say? I don't know. Anyway, round the sides of the palace, you get a fine view of the Queen's, the Grand Department de la Reine, and then it's this side as well, Grand Department de la Roi on this side. We've been through it all before. I've added these lovely new courtyards. Take a look inside. If you can hear a noise, there's a dog that keeps crying here all day. I don't know what's wrong with it, but every day, for some reason, it cries for its owner all day long, and it's very irritating. Over there, you can see the Grand Trianon being built. The Petit Trianon will be built somewhere over here. I'm thinking this part of the world will become the Domaine de Marie Antoinette. So yeah, we have Louis XIV's generation installed. Now, it's the alignments are a bit wrong because by this time, when the palace looked like this, that was when Louis XV was installed and with the pavilions as well. But we're going to ignore that. We just got to focus on this area of the palace. And also by this time, Marie-Thérèse was actually dead, and most of his children, Louise de la Vallière, was not installed at court. Her apartments are on the top floor on this side of the palace. But I built a palace like this. I built it all in one week. So we're stuck with this whole new Versailles. But anyway, he's got a child with Louis Thérèse and Marie-Louise Thérèse. They've taken the mother's name, Louis XIV. By this time, Marie-Thérèse should be dead, and he should have his other mistresses. I can't think of their names right now. Anyway, let's have a look inside. I've shown you this many times. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? So first of all, on the Queen's side of the palace, we have her grand apartments. But you can see they're a lot more different this time. A lot more detailed, and I've spent a lot longer on them. Now you're thinking, why does she have an extra room here? Why is this room decorated like it is in 2016 when it should be like that and it should be old? But in actual fact, this is a museum room at Versailles. This room is added on because I had added an extra room to the palace, but really it should be these two rooms here, and then the rest of the apartment. So you've got the guard room, Grand Couvert, noble salon, and the Queen's bedchamber. And the Queen is still asleep, as you can see. These are all of her cabinets, but she can only use two of them, these two right now, because the rest of them will be occupied by Marie Antoinette, and another one will be opened to Marie Lesinska when she's installed, but she cannot use the whole Petit Department de la Reine. So yeah. Over here, we have the King's Grand Chamber. Now, the King does not actually sleep in here just yet, because by this time when Louis XIV was staying in here, he was an old man. He was very in his late life. Louis XV's quarters here are not going to be occupied until he's actually installed. This is all blocked off. None of them can use this section. In the Sims' eyes, this is just an empty part of the palace. They'd never been in here before. They've never entered here. Right now, because the monarchy is still at its first peak, Louis XIV is actually living in his grand apartment on this side. He's downstairs. Now, actually, you're thinking, why the hell is he in this apartment that was only opened in the 18th century? Well, this apartment is home to his daughters, Marie Louisa and Louise Thérèse. And all the cabinets, some of them are locked off, some of them are open. But the daughters of France use these quarters over here, and upstairs, this room here is officially Louis XIV's bedroom. At the moment, it is anyway. Okay, now this room over here is supposed to be the Hercules salon, but he's blocked off from using that, so he only has these 7 rooms just here. Upstairs, we have the apartments of Madame de Barry, but actually Louise de la Vallière occupies them at the moment, and she is pregnant with an illegitimate child. So all of these apartments here are occupied by her, but actually they're supposed to be occupied by Madame de Barry, and the apartments do have 18th century design, but it doesn't matter. The Hunt courtyard, or the King's domain, it's just there for show, they never really use it. We have this room up here, which is kind of dark. I'll put some lights in it for you and show you what's going on. But this room is where Louis XVI said yes to the helping the Americans with their revolution. So this chamber is very significant in the palace. It's not very bright. I'll put a couple of lamps in the chandeliers for you. As you can see, yes, that small little room is where Louis XVI would have said yes to the Americans. Okay, and then what else is there to show you? So the Grand Trianon is being built over there. The Queen's domain is not actually completed yet because all of the park and things were created during Louis XIV's midlife, not early life. His early life was the first beginning stages of Versailles, so he would have had 2 separate wings built here in the Cour Royale. These wings would have never been here. That is why they're still undecorated. But yeah, no, this is Versailles that I've created, and it's much better than most of the palaces that I built at Versailles. I want to show you. If we go to the town, it's a kingdom now. So there's nobles, there's peasants, there's merchants in the town. So all the big houses, all the bigger houses, all the richer families are nobles. So here we have the Wolf family, but actually I have renamed them Artois. They have a house. If I just show you, if I can zoom into their lot, they have a house in their because my family are friends with all the aristocrats. The royal family are friends with all the aristocrats. I know it's a modern house, but just forget about it. So this house here belongs to the royal family. So when they visit, they sleep in this house over here. It's like a separate building. It's not of 17th century design, but what can you do? So this is their house. This is the only house that they built. The Queen and the royal family visited this house when she was pregnant, because they were showing off the new heir that was coming. If you look at it closely, there's even gates. There's a separate entrance for the king on the estate, so he can use his house separately. And there's 2 bedrooms in that house. There's 2 reception rooms downstairs, no bathrooms. And then, what else is there to show you? I'll just show you a bit more of the Grand Trianon because, it's just interesting to show you. So you see all the gardens of the Grand Trianon will be built where all this sand area is, and you can see the colonnade area. And what else is there to show you? The chapel of Versailles won't be built until Marie-Thérèse and the children of Marie-Thérèse has died and all the children have grown up. What else is there? So the king, let's return to the game. The king, Louis XIV, and his queen are both mayors. So there's two mayors running the town. There's the queen and there's the king who run the town. So they're both mayors, and that's the highest status you can get in the town. There is a leader of the free world, but I think that's more for like an imperial, an imperial role. So yeah, we'll go to the main menu, and I'll show you my other palace that I've created, which is absolutely stunning because it's enormous, and it's called Strasbourg. Or Strasbourg. This will be the seat of the imperial monarchy, which I've talked about a series of times. The imperial monarchy is a story that I've written, but I'm going to bring it to life in The Sims. Don't judge me how pathetic it sounds, but what I want to do, because this is the story. So the empress is called Maria Canavia di Charles, right? And she will live in this enormous palace that I've created over here. Now, all the buildings look the same, as you can see. But what I'm going to do is this entranceway here will become like an open courtyard. So that's the entrance to the palace. This wing will belong to the king, and this wing will belong to the queen. Each of these buildings have 5 floors, because the apartments will go on forever. It's an enormous lot. It looks more like a military base right now, but it's going to be a beautiful palace soon. But yeah, that's basically it for you. And all the town will be subject to this new, grand monarchy. You can't build, buildings on that big of a scale in The Sims. You can't build them really that grand. But in the story that I've written, this imperial monarchy is, I can't explain to you how grand it will be, how, rich the empress is in the story. The empress is the main focus because she kind of steals the monarchy, and she sort of takes over. It's like Catherine the Great, but she has much more. She owns like an eighth of the world's crust. So she's massively extravagant, and and her palace is just enormous, and I can't explain it to you. So everything about it is great. Her empire is enormous, and I'll talk more about it in the video. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.